quite fast, quite quick. If you're running the Forest Dean Spring Half Marathon, this is the hill that will make or break your race. What is up guys, Andy Forest Dean Runner here, and welcome back to week 6 of this Spring Trails Half Marathon training series. We are out on Tuesday, no run on Monday because baby boy was born Sunday morning, 8:11 a.m. Mum and baby doing incredible. Got discharged home later that day and we have been soaking up family life, and will do for the next few weeks whilst this incredible newborn feeling sinks in. Totally forgotten how all-consuming having a baby is, and just in love. It's incredible. So I'm delighted to be able to start this week on such a positive note after stringing you guys out for so long as to when this brilliant baby would come. 16 days overdue, 9 pounds 3 ounces, no name as yet. I'll let you know later in the week if we have decided on a name. So this week is going to be pretty low key. I'm just getting out on Tuesday, first run since the long run on Saturday, so just kind of keeping it chilled out this week, not doing a lot because obviously the baby, not sleeping a heck of a lot either, so feeling a bit lethargic, but just going to get out whenever I can. So I have no structure to this week, just as many miles as I can get. Today will be about 5 or 6 miles, just a nice easy stretch of the legs. First run in the Saucony Kinvara 11. You guys will have seen my first impressions video on that by now. If you haven't already, go check that out. So just plodding along in those, but looking forward to doing the speed test in them at some point this week if we get out for a workout. So great to start the video off in this way, and I will touch base with you whenever we're next out. Okay, so it's Thursday. We've managed to get out again for another 45-minute run, which is wicked, although the GPS is doing some funny things. Normally where my 2 mile marker is, I've only done 1.8, so something crazy going on, but feeling good. Second run of the week, feeling so lucky that I'm able to get out. I really thought this week that I would not be getting out much at all. So it's quite dark, I won't keep you long, but just a quick update. Things are going really well at home, day 4 with the baby. He did get a bit of sleep last night. The first 3 nights were rather torturous. Me and the wife were swapping times with him, holding him, cuddling him, trying to get him to sleep. Not to much avail, but last night he got about 5 or 6 hours, split into 2 sections. So I took the first 3 hours, my wife took the second, and we feel surprisingly refreshed today. So I'm just out on the industrial estate, getting 6 easier miles done, 7:40 pace I think we're running at the moment, something like that, keeping it really conversational, really good. If I go thrash myself on a workout, I'm going to be absolutely useless in the night shift. So this week, low key, getting this run done, and fingers crossed I might see you tomorrow. Alright, good afternoon, it's Friday. We are out on a Friday, day 3 of the week, and we are able to get out and do a little run. Feeling over the moon that we've been able to run as much as we have this week. And I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that we might be able to get one last semi-decent long run in this weekend to wrap up what might be a 30+ mile week, which is fine by me. Works well because we've had obviously cattle grid, we've had 4-5 weeks at 50+ miles, so this is going to work nicely. It's a bit of a down week. It's come along at a perfect time. So today I'm just out on the trails behind Hayward again, and I'm going to be doing, I'm quite tired, fatigue is setting in with the sleepless nights, so I'm going to be careful. I don't want to render myself useless for any night shifts that might come later tonight. So I'm just going to do 5 or 6 miles tempo on the rolling trails behind Hayward to get a little bit more race specific, mock the terrain that we're going to be running on. Although this isn't the course, it's a good challenge, and we're at the back end of the training now with less than 4 weeks to go, so more tempo, more race specific stuff is what is required. So I'm going to crack on with this. I'm also in the Saucony Kinvara 11s, so a bit of a speed test for those shoes today. We'll see how they get on. I really don't like them running easy, so I'm hoping these next 5 or 6 miles will feel a lot better. We'll see. Anyway, on with the run, and I'll touch base with you when we're done. Okay, there we go, 6 mile tempo run done and dusted on the hills around Haywood. That was good, and today was all about maintaining where we were at before baby and kind of see ourselves through the next 2 weeks before kind of a week and a bit worth of taper. So 6 mile tempo run done, quickest times of all the tempo runs we've done around here, 6:40 and 6:44 on the big uphill, and then basically everything else was 6:11 and below. 6:11, 6:10, 6:09 I think, something like that. So overall, really happy. And we are out. It's Saturday and we are getting a smaller long run done today. Absolutely over the moon. Day 4 out this week. I couldn't have dreamed of getting this many miles done. It's going to be about 32, 33 this week. I really thought I was just going to get one run in here and there. That was it. And it's all thanks to my incredible wife. She's just literally said, "You're going out running today?" And I'm like, "Well, only if it's all right with you." She's like, "Well, I plan on going up and see my mum. So if you want to go out for an hour and a half whilst I'm out, go for it." And I was like, jaw hit the floor. I was like, "Yes, please." So she's just been, oh, I have no words for her. She's incredible. But that aside, this isn't a vlog about how incredible she is, although she is incredible. This is about a bit of a course recce today. So obviously I know the Forest of Dean half marathon course, but I haven't raced it for 2 or 3 years now, I can't remember. And I thought I would just come out on a 13 miler today, 14, whatever it ends up being, and familiarise myself with the course. So where I joined the trail, the cycle trail, is around about mile 8 of the course, and what I'm doing now is I'm doing a lot of the downhill section, which goes down to about mile 10 or 11 I think, and then when I get to there I'm not doing the final 12 and 13th mile. I'm skipping a mile and then I'm going to join on at mile 2. So I'm kind of joining at the end of the loop, gonna miss the bit where it cuts in back towards the beach house, and then go on towards starting the start of the course. And then I'll do from about mile 2 right through to mile 7, which is the toughest part of the course in my opinion, mainly uphill. So just getting that done today. Also testing the Saucony Kinvara 11s on the long run. Feeling a little bit better today, feeling like they're wearing in, so I'm a little bit relieved about that because I was that close to sending them back, but I thought I would give them a good test out. So that's what's happening today. I'll talk you through the course as we go, and I'll touch base with you when we get back to around about mile 2. Just a very quick point to note before we do jump back to mile 2. So I'm on the downhill section. If you saw my video on how to build in race specific training into your racing plan, my mental goal was mapping out the course itself and where I wanted to push and where I didn't. And so right now, as I'm running, although I'm running steady pace, I'm thinking to myself, right, this section here, this 2 or 3 miles, this is where I'll be putting the hammer down. This is where I will be giving it my all, because this is where my strength will come into play. And then when we get down to the bottom of the hill down here, when we start climbing again, that's when I will need to be digging in deep to my reserves, because the hills are not my strength, believe it or not. So just mentally preparing as I'm going around the course, thinking to myself, this is where I'm pushing, this is where I'm holding, this is where I'm going to try and play my cards right. It's all about trying to get that sub 120 on the trails half marathon in a tactical kind of way. holding you left-handed, so you'll have to bear with me, but we are now approaching mile sort of 1.5, 2. See this track here? Right up there, we will fly down there, and now we are heading on the big downhill, which is kind of mile 2, before we hit the flat at the bottom. I say flat, the gradual increments. So the first mile is on the road. We cut off onto that track just there, which is about 500 meters long. It's not long, and that's a gentle down, and then we'll be flying down here, going down this hill, and this hill goes on for about a mile, nearly a mile, and it will go, you'll see when we get around the corner, I'll cut to the clip, it just literally flies down. And the first year I ever did this, I completely blew out my quads because I was in 140 shape and I flew down here at 5:58 minute miling, and I got to the bottom and my quads just completely gave out. So as you see here, we come around the corner and we will be going all the way down this hill, all the way to the bottom. So you've got to be really careful when you are coming down here, because you will blow out your quads if you have not done much downhill training. Okay, so as you hit the bottom of that hill, you start to go alongside Cannock Ponds, which is just over there. There's some beautiful ponds there. They come into more review in about half a mile. But it's at this point where you have to have been conservative, a little bit conservative down that hill, because you now know that the next 4 miles are a very gentle uphill with a very, very little respite. This first mile 3 is so gradual you don't really notice it, so it's not really until mile 4 it kicks in. But when you look on Strava later, you'll see that there was a cheeky little incline there, and it's really important at that point not to worry after mile 3 when your watch goes off if you've got splits in your mind, if you've not quite hit the pace you wanted to, because honestly it is a bit of a cheeky incline. So there's Cannock Ponds through there, beautiful view, and it's now about getting into the grind gear and getting through the next 4 miles. And I'll show you the big hill, first decent hill we get to in about a mile. Okay, so this is the first cheeky hill. It's about 100 meters long. It's not massive, but it's short and sharp. It really knocks you out of your stride. So the key thing is here, when you get around this corner and up onto there, it flattens out for just about 500 meters. So that's a time to get your breath back and recalibrate yourself, because then you're back on the inclines. Number 1, don't try and talk to a camera when you're going uphill, especially not that one. So this is the ridge line at the top of that hill, and you'll be about 4.5 miles in, I think, at this point. It's my mileage is rubbish, I can't remember exactly where all the markers are, but I know it's in the first 4.5 miles. And a point to note, just before we click into gear on this second third of the course, is that as I said to you in the beginning, going up from Cannock Ponds to that hill, my pace dropped about 20 seconds a mile, and I'm running steady. I did a 6:53 in one stretch, and then the 7:13, and I wasn't working any less or any harder. So just bear that in mind. Splits at that stage in the game, you just got to ignore them. There's a bigger picture, and there's a good downhill chunk for you to make up some ground later in the race. Only 2 or 3 miles, but it's enough to claw back some of the deficit that you are experiencing. So as I said, we're running along this ridge line. You're coming up to around 5 miles, I think, maybe just past, and in about 200 meters we start climbing again, and then a very, very small downhill before we reach the next big hill. Okay, so still running nice and steady, feeling good, feeling strong, and this is a point in the course where you would want to catch a bit of a breather. It's a slight down before we approach the next big hill, This is about half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile long, down then flat. This is where you need to mentally reset, mentally recharge and get ready for the next big hill that's coming up. Okay, so the climb starts here on a bit of a gentle climb, nothing you haven't done before on the course, and then it's going to swoop up. Quite steep, quite fast, quite quick. If you're running the Forest Dean Spring Half Marathon, this is the hill that will make or break your race. Whew, that was hard going, and that, as I said, will either make or break your race. But if you get to the top of that hill, we either run along this kind of ridge line, which gently goes, you get to the top and it gently climbs a bit more, and then down the other side, and then you're getting onto a much more runnable part of the course. We fly down a big hill here, well, not big, 50 metres, 100 metres, which is a nice welcome break. We do another mile of gentle climbing with a very short, sharp incline at the end, where I do my mile repeats, and then it's downhill for 3 miles, which is a bit that we started the run on, so I won't be going that far. I'll be stopping just about where that downhill starts, because I said we did that at the beginning of the run anyway. We're nearly there for this course recce. Let's fly down the downhill and then show you that last bit. So as you saw coming up the cycle track there, once you've come down that big hill, you then have about a mile grind and then that short sharp bit at the end. Before you get to this stage, you know exactly where this is, you've seen this in my videos. This is the start of where I do my mile reps, and this is the start of the downhill one. So we're about to crest over the top here, tiny little 10-metre down, and then you're on your way and the race really begins. If you've paced it right, at this point you will have a decent amount of energy in the tank, and you'll be able to click off the next 2.5, 3 miles with some comfort before grinding the last 2 miles, which has a decent hill in it, the last decent hill, short sharp hill, and a bit more undulation. So there we go, a tough course, a tough ask to get sub 120. We'll see how we do. So overall a really solid week, as I said in the beginning, a week that I never ever would have imagined I'd have got in. It's going to be about 32, 33 miles. Really happy with that. Works in perfectly as a bit of a down week. I'm tired, don't get me wrong, I am tired, but it's been a great week, and today's run has been a breath of fresh air. Really enjoyed it. So that's it for week 6. Week 6 is training, 3 to go. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then.